Season 3 is here then with our Brisbane Roar team. We have done the double-double, which means we won the double last year, winning the A-League and the final series as well, and we won the double in our first season in charge. Can we do the triple-double? That's a basketball term, I think. We are obviously into the Asian Champions League and the Australia Cup as well. I would like to do well in the Australia Cup at some point over these 10 seasons, because so far we've been knocked out in round 1 and round 2. I feel like we should be good enough to win this. If we are winning the league every season, or 2 out of 2, we should be good enough to win the Australia Cup as well. And because we're doing so well in the Australian League, I feel like we should be able to do all right in the Champions League also. Just a reminder for you, last season we did actually get knocked out in the group stages of the Champions League, somewhat unluckily, I believe, because we won twice, but we drew against the 2 teams who finished ahead of us, and we lost against the 2 teams that finished ahead of us. If we turned one of those into a win, we would have probably qualified in second place as one of these best of the rest kind of qualifiers, I think. I imagine that's probably what would have happened. But anyway, that did not happen. So here we are again, once again, back into the Champions League group stage, obviously being Season 3 as well. And this is a youth development challenge. We need to pick our 3rd player who is going to be joining our starting 11. In Season 1, it was Jack Mason, the striker who has so far played 2 full seasons up front, scoring 37 league goals. In Season 2, Gianni Pizza Miglione joined the ranks, starting as our left back. And in Season 3, I've not quite made my decision yet. Shelford Lugo could be the man to do it. Obviously, he's not going to be playing up front, though, because Mason is going to be keeping that position. But I feel like Lugo could be the man to fill into that attacking midfield role. He's obviously not all the options that we have, but he is the best of the options. So we've also got players like Bronson Sherwood, Ethan Johnson, Jared Hayes, Jay Neve, Kang Jing Long. We've got Kresimir Petrovic, who... Petrovic, maybe? He's very good mentally, so maybe that's something we need to consider. Matty Barker as well is an option. Sean Heggie is not an option. He's not a very good goalkeeper. We've got Negri as well, who I think could be all right. He looks very good aerially and technically. Stephen Sutherland, who again looks like he could be okay. And Thomas Kennel, again, another option, could be okay. So there's a few people. I think it might be. It's possibly going to be Lugo. It could be Petrovic. It could even be Jay Neve. Jay Neve, maybe. I mean, he's not good enough yet, but I feel like we need to start bringing in some other players, like a centre-back could be handy. Although saying that, we do have Pizza who can play as a centre-back. Anyway, that's enough waffling for me at the moment. Obviously, it is the start of a brand new season. The transfer window is open. We've got £469,000 to spend. We've got a reasonable wage budget as well. And as of yet, we haven't done any transfer business. We have loaned out 1 player, I believe, which is at Plusnin. He has gone out on loan, but nothing else has actually happened. These 2, despite the fact they are considered this season, and this is technically last season, this season hasn't started yet because it should be the 27-28 season. It's now the 8th of September and the window has closed and 8 players have joined the club. We have yet to really play any proper matches. We played some cup games. We'll get to those in just a minute, but let's take a look at the players that have joined the club. In order of when we signed them, basically, so not in order of anyone who's the best and the worst and that kind of thing, but Stephen Hall is first up, 22 years of age, Australian, formerly of Brighton, actually played 16 times for Brighton, did concede 33 over those 16 league games, but he's joined on a free transfer to provide a bit more depth in our goalkeeping position. Jake Girdwood Reich, maybe, could be his name, 23-year-old Australian international, signed from St. Louis City over in America. I nearly said the MLS, but I don't think that's actually an MLS side in the game. He has got 3 caps to his name. He's actually a very good player. He's obviously going to be probably more deployed as the defensive midfielder rather than a centre-back, but he could play there if we need him to. We've also picked up a youngster in the shape of Joshua Knoll, 19 years of age, a very good-looking defensive midfielder, centre-back maybe, but he's not actually a centre-back, who's actually naturally as a left-back. Probably need to retrain Joshua Knoll, but I think he's good. He's probably good enough to play now, but certainly one for the future as well. Chris Donnell is another player to make up the numbers of our Australians, because basically I keep buying players who aren't Australian, and that's a problem. So Chris Donnell is an Australian, 23 years old, 4 under-20s caps, formerly of Gorica in, I'm going to say, Croatia. He has come in on a free transfer. All of these players are free, by the way. We've not spent a single penny, I don't think. So yeah, Donnell is in. He's a good option, probably actually one of our better defensive midfielders. We have also signed Shabalanov Trenkov, and you might be thinking, hold on, isn't he already here? No, that's his brother. Have I signed him because it's his brother? Yes. Don't worry, he's Bulgarian, and also he is part Australian, so it's not too much of a problem. I brought him in because of his brother. Literally, that's the only reason. He'll never play for us. In fact, I've dropped him to the B team. We've also brought in youngster Tommy Conrad, 19 years of age, who is a New Zealander with 11 caps to his name, right back by trade. Looks pretty good. Signed him from Auckland United, obviously over in New Zealand. I think we could have ourselves a very good right back. Obviously, he doesn't count as homegrown, but he could be a good option if we need to if we need someone to basically, if we don't lock in a right back, maybe Conrad Tommy. Did I call him Tommy Conrad? His name's Conrad Tommy. Tommy's a weird surname. Anyway, yeah, what I'm trying to say is he could be a good option as a right back if we need one. And finally, probably the best signing we've ever made so far is Dujon Richards, 21 years of age, Jamaican international, 17 caps, 4 goals to his name, formerly of Chelsea, spent a bit of time on loan at Central Coast Mariners last season. Obviously, he is not Australian, and he said American. He's not Australian, but he has spent 224 days here so far. It does take, I think that is 5 years for them to... No, 10 years. That might be 10 years. No, it's 5 years, surely. I can't do maths. I think it's 5 years. Might even be 4 years for them to actually become Australian. So if he sticks around long enough, he will become Australian and then therefore won't count as a foreign player. And we haven't sold anybody. That's pretty much it. We haven't sold anybody. We've brought in a whole bunch of people. As I've mentioned, these were the ones that kind of went out on loan earlier. And when it comes to the player that we are locking into our starting 11, it is Shelford Lugo. He is the man. He is the person who's going to be taking the position of attacking midfielder. So as I mentioned in the start of the season, he's going to be playing just behind Jack Mason. Mason keeps his position up front. Pizza keeps his position as our left back. And I think so far, when it comes to youth players that we're locking in, we're doing all right. We've got some pretty good options. I am concerned, however, that if we still don't get too many good players coming through the next few seasons, Jack Mason... How old is Jack Mason right now? He is 19. We've got Lugo, who's 19, and Pizza is 18. In 2, maybe 3 seasons' time, Mason can't be locked in because he'll be too old to play for us. Same with Lugo, same with Pizza. In theory, Carl Sagno, even though he's a youth player that comes through our youth intake, I can't lock him in now because he's too old. He needs to be 21 at the start of the season back in June or July or whenever it actually is. So competition-wise, obviously 8th of September, we are still in the Australian Cup, which is absolutely magical, into the quarter-final up against Wellington Phoenix. And interestingly, looking at some of the teams that are left, and by some of them, one fixture, we have Wollongong Wolves, who are not in the A-League, versus Altona Magic, who are also not in the A-League. So the fact that one of those teams is going to get to the semi-final of the Australia Cup is quite ridiculous. And then when it comes to the Champions League, we have Daegu, Johor and Yokohama. So Daegu, I'm not even sure where they're from. South Korea, there we go. We've got Johor from Malaysia and we have Yokohama, obviously, from Japan. So it's a tough group, but I feel like we should be good enough. If we're winning the A-League every single season, we should be good enough to win the Champions League group stages at the very least. Could we be on for winning 3 trophies? 4 trophies, technically, if we win the finals as well of the A-League. Anyway, we are going to jump forward then and find out what happens in the first part of the season. We're going to go all the way through to the start of the winter transfer window, although because it's Australia, technically it's the summer transfer window, isn't it? So on the 5th of January, we're going to talk about players that got released because basically they weren't not registered in the 23-man squad, 25-man squad, whatever it is. Rafael Fullock is one of them, not very good, obviously 22 years old. He's already found himself a new club. And Conrad Tommy has left because I have too many foreign players in my squad. And Conrad Tommy didn't make the cut. I didn't even realise he didn't make the cut either. I was wondering where he'd gone, and then I went, hold on, did he get released? He got released, because I'm a clown. I'm an absolute clown. Anyway, when it comes to the league so far, we are 10 games in. We're second place in the table, just 1 point behind Newcastle Jets, and 2 points ahead of Sydney FC, who actually have played one more game than us. So we're looking all right at the moment. We have won the Australia Cup. So from Season 1, getting knocked out in Round 1, from Season 2, getting knocked out in Round 2, to Season 3, to winning the whole thing. A 6-2 victory in the final. Goals from Lugo, Stroik, Donnell, Burke-Gilroy, Stroik again, and Waddingham mean that we pick up a very nice, comfortable victory. Stroik, by the way, is ridiculous. He's here in real life, I believe. He's amazing. He is one of our foreign players, which is part of the reason why Conrad Tommy no longer plays for us. But I feel like Stroik's a better player. And in the Champions League, we did just about manage to get through the group stages, but we finished as the best of the rest. So Yokohama winning the group, 5 wins and 1 defeat, which I assume was against us. It was. We absolutely battered them. We win 4 against Johor, 6-0. We beat Daegu 2-0, Yokohama 4-0, and Johor once again 3-1. And then 2 defeats against Yokohama and Daegu. So if we beat Daegu that second time, then it wouldn't have been even a question. We would have gone top of the table because basically our goal difference is ridiculous. And in the second round, we've drawn up against Yokohama. I feel like the seeding either doesn't work or doesn't exist in the Asian Champions League because I feel like that shouldn't be happening. But anyway, it's what's happening. I feel like we might be getting knocked out in the second round. Just having a look, by the way, when you look at all the teams who are at this point in the Asian Champions League, it is Koreans, Saudi Arabians, United Arab Emirates, Qatari, Chinese and Japanese. That's pretty much it, isn't it? I think it is. That is literally all it is, and then us. So you have to be one of like 5 nations to get out of the group stages of the Champions League. But in the group stages, you get teams from all over the place. Like an Indian side finishing 3rd. You've got an Iranian side finishing 3rd there. They're just, none of them are seeming to get out of the Champions League group stages. Estigal, that could be their name. They're really good, as far as I'm aware. Finishing 2nd, just narrowly missing out. So basically, like 5 or 6 nations seem to qualify for the Champions League group stages when it realistically should be a little bit more varied, or it'd be nice if it was more varied. Anyway, at the halfway point of the season, I do want to take a quick look at the players. So Pizza is now got 2 goals and 8 assists, which is very good. He's a natural left back, turning into a reasonable player. He's arguably more of a centre back, but he can't header. He's got 8 heading, and he's 6'1", so he's not even the biggest of players for centre backs. He's much taller than I am as a human, but yeah, Pizza maybe should be a centre back, but he's doing a job at left back. Jack Mason, obviously leading the line, has 12 goals in all competitions, but only 6 of them in the league, 4 of them in the Champions League. And new man Shelford Lugo, he's starting okay, 3 league goals and 8 starts, 6 Champions League games, but no goals in that, and 3 goals in 5 Australia Cup games, obviously one of them coming in the final. So he's doing alright. Obviously, we're still only 10 games into the league season. He's missed 2 of them, and he's got 3 goals. That's kind of okay. His XG is nearly a 5, so I would like to maybe to see 5 goals, but there we are. Anyway, it is a transfer window, and we have a bit of money to spend, £450,000, but I don't think we're really going to do too much business. We're going to jump forward and find out what we actually do. Nothing, technically. I mean, we did loan out Bronson Sherwood. He's gone to Olympic FC to hopefully get a bit more game time. He was one of the players that was possibly in contention of getting into the starting 11 this season. Obviously, he's missed out, so I thought, you know what, let's get some game time playing somewhere else. So, Olympic FC, they seem to loan a lot of our players, and I don't really know why. In other news, we have also moved ourselves to the top of the table with 37 points now. So 5 games were played over January and the start of February, and we have leapt over Sydney FC and Newcastle Jets. In fact, Newcastle Jets, I think, were top. They've had a pretty poor January. We've had a very good one. And I think Jack Mason, actually, from form perspective, has missed most of January because he's been away on international duty. Okay, has Lugo missed most of January? He's not. He's done well. He scored a couple of goals there, scored a goal there, scored a goal there. And Pizza actually missed for most of it as well, being away on international duty. I did completely forget to mention this. I think October is when our youth intakes come in, and I always forget. I always want to check around March time, but for some reason in Australia they come in a lot earlier. We had a terrible, terrible youth intake. So we have Fias, might be his name, Fleming, a 16-year-old Irish international, or under 21 international, sorry, as a left winger. Could be all right. He doesn't look amazing though, does he? We've got Michael Knight, who is not a very good centre-back. We've got Antolic, who's a much better centre-back, but I still don't think he's very good. He's got lots of 9s. 8s and 9s, which is the reason why I put a star against him and not Michael Knight. And we have Mud Faris Noor, who is a Malaysian left midfielder and left winger, who again, I don't think is going to be very good. These are the 4 players that we've signed, by the way, through our youth intake. There were others who were worse, who didn't make the cut. This is what I keep saying. I'm worried that if we have some poor youth intakes over a few seasons, we are going to struggle, say season 5 or 6, to actually field 5 good players who are eligible that have come through our youth intake. Right, next up, we're going to jump then to the end of the regular season, see how well things go. We will be most of the way through the Champions League as well, so we would have played Yokohama F. Marinos and probably a bunch of other teams, assuming we beat them. We didn't beat them. I mean, technically, we did beat them. We lost on away goals, which surely that's not a thing in the Asian Champions League. I thought they'd been that off years ago. Anyway, we beat them 3-2, but we also lost. What did we lose? How did they win on away goals? That doesn't make sense. We scored 3 away from home. They scored 2. Wait, no, that's that. Okay, so we won 3-2 at home. So this is confusing. So this is the first leg was played Yokohama at home. We were away, which ended 2-1 to Yokohama. And then the second leg was Brisbane Roar versus Yokohama, and we won 3. It's fine. Okay, I was just about to just phone up Miles and be like, it's wrong. You've broken it. You've ruined my entire save. But we're okay. We have won the A-League for the 3rd successive season, a massive 60 points. So the first season we were in charge, we got 58. Last season we got 62. This season we get 60. So an average over the 3 seasons of 60, because I can do very quick maths like that, does mean that we go into the A-League final series. I'd love to win it again. I feel like we should be able to. It's going to be Newcastle Jets, Sydney, Wellington, Phoenix, Western Sydney Wanderers and Adelaide. I think we skip 1 round, so we kind of go into the semi-finals. And I've just seen Jack Mason has now got 20 goals in all competitions, 13 of them coming from the league. Shelford Lugo has 17 goals, also 13 in the league. 14 assists for Pizza, 3 goals as well coming in the league, 8 assists coming from Pizza in the league as well. So all of a sudden, the second part of the season, things seem to have turned around a little bit, and that's obviously how we've kind of run away with the league a bit. Right, last thing to do then, jump to the end of the season. Do we pick up another trophy? It'll be trophy number 3. Could we do the treble? And how fitting for Season 3, we do win 3 trophies. We have completed the treble the first time ever we have done that. Lugo and Richards with a brace. So where's Richards playing? On the right wing. Obviously, he's naturally a striker, but he can't play there. So Richards has kind of reverted himself to be a right winger, and he's done very well, scoring twice in the final, winning us our 3rd trophy of the season. I've just seen as well, Pete's has got himself an assist. That's nice to see. So 3 trophies at the end of the season. Taking a quick look at the 3 players then. So Pizza, 15 assists in all competitions, just 3 goals, but he's a left back, kind of what you'd expect. 1 assist for Mason, because he's selfish, but 22 goals, 15 of them coming in the A-League, 2 of those 15 coming in at the finals. And then Shelford Lugo scoring 18 goals in all competitions with 8 assists, 14 in the league, 1 of them in the finals. The fact that Shelford Lugo, he's kind of fallen into this team, and actually, he is technically our 2nd best player going by star rating. He has leapt over Mason and Pizza already. The worry now is, who do we put as our player number 4 for Season 4? You can see I've already called up some people who could be in contention. So it is Neve, it is Petrovic, and it is Barker are the 3 players that we might be considering. I feel like Petrovic might need to do it, because this is technically going to be... He's got 1, maybe 2 seasons that he could play. So maybe Petrovic is the man to go in. Neve, he's got 3 seasons, and I don't know whether Neve is good enough. He might be our last resort centre-back if we don't have anyone good enough for Season 5. So a successful season with Brisbane Roar. We have won a bunch of trophies, back into the Champions League, and we got out of the group stages as well. Maybe for Season 4 we can do something similar. My eyes now have to be set on that Asian Champions League.